Welcome back to Dragon Army Books. My name is Dustin, and this is a spoiler-free review of The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. Now, you've been in a relationship before, probably, and the relationship has been going well. Everything seems to be good, until it's not. And some things pop up that make you think, you know what, what's going on? Why is he treating me this way? Why did she say that? You know, the relationship kind of just starts to veer off a little bit, and then you realize it's a lot worse than what it seemed. Well, hopefully yours never ends the way that our protagonist in this story, Evelyn Caldwell's relationship with her husband, ended. Everything was going well. They were both researchers, scientists together, and they were researching kind of cloning and making replicas of real life humans. Well, when Evelyn finds her husband is cheating on her with a clone of herself, a better version of herself, a more refined version of herself, it puts a kink in the relationship, and not in that way. With every scientific advancement, there comes a cost, and Evelyn is indeed caught in the crossfire of that cost when her husband chooses the clone over herself. And then the clone makes some decisions that causes Evelyn to have to step in, and with Evelyn and her clone working together to cover up some misdeeds, the story unravels. This is one of those plots where I don't want to share more than I have to. I already feel like I've shared a little bit too much, but really what I've shared is less than what the official description is, what the back book cover actually says about the story. This is also one of those kinds of stories that I love to read when I'm taking a break from some of the harder science fiction and harder fantasy books that I tend to enjoy. Every once in a while, I need a break. I need, what's it called when, a palate cleanser? I need something in between the heavy stuff so that I can kind of detox and breathe just a little bit. When that is necessary for me, I typically go to some mysteries or to some kind of fiction, maybe historical, maybe science, a little bit of light science fiction, maybe it's some other things, but I try to palate cleanse every once in a while. This was one of those palate cleansers, and it really hit the spot for me. Like, it was perfectly that. While I hoped for maybe a little bit of mystery or a little bit more of intrigue or a little bit more deception or a little bit more, like I always expected it to go one way or surprise me coming out of left field, it didn't go some of those directions like I would have hoped for it to go or like what I expected it to. It kind of just went straightforward through the story, kind of A, B, C, D, but it does so really, really well. And while being fairly straightforward, The Echo Wife asks some questions and provides some conversation topics around things that we have gotten from other science fiction work before, about morality, about humanity, about what it means to be a human, what's too far, what's not far enough, all of those questions that are regularly explored in science fiction literature. We go some of those same places, but we're given some maybe slightly different answers or some slightly different reasons to pause and ask and think and really process. Sarah Gailey really knows how to tell a story, and to do so in a way that is not too invasive, not telling you what to believe or but really telling a story that's also on the underside saying, hey, think about some of these things. One of the things that Gailey does is provide some, not flashbacks, but maybe flashbacks, some of Evelyn's backstory along the way to build out a little bit more of why Dr. Evelyn is making some of the decisions she is making. I had myself questioning from time to time, like, why would you behave in this way? Why would that be your gut reaction? Why would you do or say this? And then a chapter or two later, that would be informed because I would know how her parents treated her or how her parents interacted around her, or an instance or situation with her husband in the past that led to her making this decision in the present. I really liked that and thought it benefited the story and the character of Dr. Evelyn all the more. I think this is a really good, nice, easy to read, fast-paced story for those that don't love heavy sci-fi, but just really like a good story. This is a good one for like fiction readers, if you just like enjoying a good fiction story, whether it's a drama or a mystery, it's got kind of all of that, just with scientific advancements as a part of it. It'd actually be really interesting to know if Gailey intended for this to be a science fiction novel or just a fiction novel with some science fiction elements to it. Either way, I think it's good for science fiction fans and for just fiction fans alike. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe it doesn't do anything earth-shattering or ground-shaking, but it's still just a really, really good read, really enjoyable. I believe it's just a standalone, and I'm interested in reading more of Gailey's work in the future. This is the conversation I want to have down in the comments. Not have you read it, not what do you think of the book, although we can talk about that. But here's the question. If you knew that your loved one was thinking about getting with a cloned version of yourself, what would be your gut response? Who are you killing? As always, thank you so much for watching and liking this video. If you haven't yet, click subscribe, join the Dragon Army, and we'll see you in the next one.